The morning light streamed into the cozy grooming salon tucked away on a quiet street, the scent of lavender and coconut oil lingering in the air. The bell over the door chimed softly as a woman walked in, gently cradling a tiny, scruffy Shih Tzu in her arms. The dog was a tangled ball of fur, his eyes barely visible beneath overgrown bangs, his paws muddy from a week's worth of backyard adventures. But beneath the wild mess was a heart full of sweetness and a face waiting to shine. The groomer, a young woman named Lila, knelt down and let the little dog sniff her hand. "Hey there, buddy," she whispered with a smile. "You ready to feel like royalty?" His name was Machi. A rescue. His owner had found him curled up under a parked car, shivering, matted, scared, and alone. He'd been through more than a small dog should ever endure. But today wasn't about the past. Today was about joy, about healing, about transformation. Lila lifted him gently onto the grooming table, speaking to him in a soothing voice the whole time. The camera was rolling quietly in the corner, set up by Lila's assistant, who had a knack for catching the exact moment when something magical happened. First, the bath. The warm water poured down over Machi's fur, turning dust and debris into gentle rivers that flowed down the drain. His eyes blinked wide, startled, then calm. The moment her hands lathered shampoo into his coat, he let out the softest sigh, as if he'd been waiting for this kind of love his whole life. His tail wagged. Once, then again. With slow, careful attention, Lila massaged every inch of his tiny body, his ears, his neck, the pads of his paws. She spoke to him the whole time, telling him he was handsome, telling him he was safe. She used oatmeal and honey shampoo, followed by a deep conditioner made just for sensitive skin. His coat started to shine even before it dried. Once he was wrapped in a plush towel like a baby burrito, Lila carried him over to the blow-drying station. That's when the transformation really began. She used a low-heat dryer with a diffuser, brushing as she went. Mats disappeared under her skilled hands. Tangled knots became flowing waves. As the camera zoomed in, you could see his eyes start to sparkle, a rich dark brown like melted chocolate. He blinked up at the camera like he knew what was happening, like he knew this was his moment. Next came the grooming scissors. Snip by snip, Lila shaped his fur with the delicate precision of an artist. A teddy bear face emerged, round, sweet, expressive. His paws were trimmed to look like little velvet mittens. She gave him a sanitary cut, shaped his tail into a glorious feather duster, and finished with a bow tie collar in pastel blue. Machi looked like he'd walked out of a storybook, or off the lap of royalty, or straight into the hearts of the entire internet. And yet, it wasn't just the transformation that made this video so special. It was the way his energy changed. He sat taller. He blinked with curiosity. He wagged his tail not out of nervousness, but pride. This wasn't just a grooming session. It was a rebirth. Lila bent down and held up a mirror. "What do you think, handsome boy?" Machi tilted his head at his reflection. He licked Lila's nose. The moment caught on camera was so pure, so full of innocent gratitude, that when it was posted online later that night, viewers around the world stopped scrolling. They stopped mid-bite, mid-conversation, mid-heartache, and they smiled. Some cried. Thousands commented. Tens of thousands shared. "I didn't know I needed to see this today." That's not just a dog. That's a soul finding peace. Someone give that groomer an award. Machi became more than a dog with a makeover. He became a symbol of how love can find you, even when you're a matted mess, even when the world forgets to notice you. He showed the world what happens when someone takes the time to see the beauty under the broken. A week later, Lila received a letter from a children's hospital. They'd watched the video during a therapy session. The kids wanted to send Machi a card. They said he was brave. They said he looked like a puppy night. And in a quiet corner of the world, a once-forgotten Shih Tzu lay curled on a plush bed, his coat soft as clouds, his eyes closed in peace, loved not just by one woman, but by millions.